Hey guys, Professor Ramey here. Long time no see. I hope this semester is treating you well, and I hope you're getting things taken care of. Just a real short video to kind of tell you what's coming up, what's due in the next few weeks, and kind of give you an update on the class and what should be getting done. First major announcement is I am extending the date of the research paper. It was due this Sunday, the 25th. I am moving it to next Sunday, so another full week. If you have already finished the research paper, congratulations, you're done, right? However, you can still send it to me, email it to me, and ask me to take a look at it. Quite a few students have done that. I'll give you some advice, some feedback before you turn it in as a final submission, right? So if you've already made a lot of progress on it, great, no harm, no foul. We're also going to, I'm not pushing anything back necessarily, I'm just extending the due date. Because coming up we're going to have our first exam, the midterm. I'm just going to extend the due date on that. It will be open starting next week, and you'll have about 2 weeks then to finish it. Now one of those, that goes into spring break, which I'm not expecting. The campus is closed. I'm not expecting any of the students to necessarily have to do an assignment during spring break. You can always get it done before. If you have plans, you're going out of town, or you just want a week off without worrying about work, right, or worrying about class, or maybe you have to work. That's fine. You can always finish it before spring break. But if you do have that free time, you don't have any plans, right? There you go. You got an extra extension on that. As you might have already noticed in this class, especially in the 16-week semester, there are big, long gaps. Basically, you have work that's due, and you have a long time to do it, right? And then it all kind of comes in a due date and such. So sometimes students, when they're taking this online class, are like, well, I have nothing to do. I've already finished all this. I have nothing to do. And that's by design, right? That's the go at your own pace of an online class. The problem is that sometimes when, there's big, long gaps, you kind of put it out of sight, put it out of mind, right? And that's true for students, and unfortunately sometimes true for professors. If you notice, the past couple of weeks, I haven't been popping in too much. I'll be honest, that's a failure on my part. I've been really busy 2 weeks, been going out of town and in other classes, and there was been nothing major due. So I kind of pushed it to the side, and that's my apologies on that, right? We'll fix that up. However, into that, I'm going to extend the dates in case you do have questions on some of these, on some of the assignments coming up. I'm going to post a separate video about the midterm and things to study for the midterm. I'm also going to, in that video, we're going to kind of briefly go over the content of the first chapters that we've taken our reading quizzes on. And we're going to kind of summarize, well, what is this course of history? What's going on? What are the major ideas and things we need to know for the written portion of the midterm exam? But for the rest of this video, let's concentrate on what's coming due now in the next 2 weeks, all right? Namely, the research project. Hopefully it's going well. Hopefully most of you all started it, especially since this is now Friday. And then you're like, and you up to this point, you didn't realize that you're going to get an extension. But if you started, and judging from the emails, quite a few students are struggling because it's conspiracy theories. I'm asking you to do academic research on a conspiracy theory. Well, the problem with that is there's not a lot of academic research on conspiracy theories. Academia concerns itself with proving things, right? By the very nature of a conspiracy theory, you can't prove it. And this was kind of the goal of the assignment. Believe it or not, especially in an online class where there's a lot of self-learning, my goal is to have students to try to do for themselves. I don't like telling you exactly how to do things. Do this, then this, then this, then this. Because ultimately then you're basically just following a cookbook, right? You're not making your own recipe, as it were. How about that analogy, right? But seriously, a college class is kind of about doing your own and figuring things out on your own. However, I probably could give you a little more guidance, especially with a very difficult topic this semester. I haven't always done conspiracy theories, but I feel that this is probably the most difficult one I've assigned just because of the nature of the research. So I'm going to give you a little bit of tips and advice. And I want you to understand first when you start it, there's actually no real wrong way to do the research assignment. As long as you meet the minimum requirements, all academic sources, if you're writing a paper, 5+ pages, cited, right, within paper citations, and you're going to be just fine. I don't care if you do it argumentative, informative, you pick one side, you pick both sides. It doesn't matter to me the structure or the style. What matters to me is the research you actually use. But if you just go into the academic databases and you type in something like alien abductions, right, you're not going to get a whole lot of academic research. And this is where you need to kind of step back and think, okay, I can't find the academic research exactly on my topic, but you probably can find academic research on things related to your topic. Let's use the alien abduction idea again, right? I don't know, maybe there's one or two sources of in some kind of sociology or psychology, or maybe even a history journal about alien abductions. Start thinking of things related to that, right? Well, if aliens are coming here from outer space, wouldn't they have to fly in like flying saucers or whatever, or through, so you can research things like interstellar travel, right? If aliens are, now I'm just spitballing here, but if aliens, are landing and taking people up and probing them and all that, right? Well, right here, there's some research you can do in like types of probes and medical analyses and things like that. In other words, use your imagination in this, right? One of the conspiracy theories about aliens is that the United States government grabbed some in Roswell, New Mexico, right? And I think they made a television show about it. Research Roswell. In other words, you can research things related to the topic without actually researching the topic itself. The reason I picked conspiracy theories, I thought it was an interesting thing. I mean, personally, I don't believe in conspiracy theories. I think they're, for the most part, they're ridiculous. There's a few that, maybe we're not being told the whole truth, but for the most part, that's just my opinion. You believe in this stuff, if you believe in the Illuminati, right, and you wonder why we got that weird shit on the dollar bill and everything, that's fine, and go for it. If you think they're ridiculous, that's fine. Find evidence to contradict, right? If you think that the United States government was implicit in 9/11, well, okay, go research that. If you think that that's hogwash, then, go show those people why it's hogwash. I wanted you to have fun with it, but I still want you to be able to do the assignment without pulling your hair out. Trust me, I know how that goes. So think about it from a larger perspective than just your topic yourself, just researching the topic itself. The second question I'm getting on the research papers a lot is, what about periodicals? A periodical is something like a newspaper or Time magazine. I'm going to be a little lenient this semester. Typically speaking, newspapers, magazines, periodicals are not academic. Because I have only criteria was to use the academic databases, and sometimes the academic databases lead you to periodicals, I am going to be fairly lenient about using those as sources. However, don't rely on them too heavily if you can help it. Right? It's okay to have like one or two periodicals. Make sure the bulk of your research, though, is actually those academic journals, things like that. And if you expand your search terms and you expand the concept of a conspiracy theory, you'll have no problem, right? Other than that, cite it however you wish. Most students at Lone Star know MLA. Use MLA. If you know Chicago, if you know APA, use APA. Just make sure there's citations inside the paper. If you're doing a presentation, make sure you're citing as well, right? You can do that a myriad number of ways. You can wait till the end and cite all the slides you did. If you're doing a PowerPoint or a Prezi, you could do it, on each slide. That's up to you, right? But just make sure your research is coming forward, right, in the presentation. It's real easy in a paper to make sure your research is speaking for itself. The presentation, the challenge is to, when you're not presenting it necessarily, to make sure that the things you're writing, the things you're trying to present, do come from those sources that you use to create the presentation itself. Other than that, guys, I don't want to make it too long of a video. It's just the big announcements that yes, one more week to do the research paper. You'll see a news item go up along with this video. You'll also we'll see an extension of the midterm, but it'll still be open. And then another video will come next week on how to prepare for the midterm and get things right there. Hope y'all are enjoying the nice weather. Hope you're having a great semester so far, and look more to more of these videos coming up as the semester really starts to get the assignments in. All right, good luck, and talk to y'all later.